Okay, it's time for the next matchup in the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championships. Well, let's have a look at the second half of the table first of all. So as you can see, Stella didn't get as far as it maybe wanted to by getting knocked out by Korev in the first round, in that first half. And now it's the turn of the Victoria Malaga versus Krombacher Pils. So let's have a little look at these then. So I found this one in Morrison's, and I don't know much about it. It's 4.8%. It's a 660ml bottle, and I don't really know anything about it, but it looked interesting, so I thought I'll include it as part of the Premium Lager Taste Test Championship. Yeah, it says Cerveza beer. It's imported, so it's imported from somewhere. So it's imported, I'm assuming, from Spain, possibly. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's imported from Spain and sold in Morrison's, and I think they have it other places as well. This one, Krombacher Pils. So we know this one. This is a German beer, 500ml bottle, 4.8% ABV as well. So the same strength there. Let's have a look. Is this what it says? It's made in Germany, and it's distributed. Yep, so it's distributed over here. So it's not brewed over here. It's brewed over. Yep, so it's brewed over in Germany, which I thought it was, to be fair. So there you go. So we've got Krombacher Pils, which is, I think that's a beer I've had in Austria as well. It's a good old standard German Pilsner, and I say it's against this one. It's against the Spanish lager, the Victoria Malaga. Interesting. I really don't know what to expect with this one. I've never had this one before, so I don't know what kind of style of beer it is, and it's been a while since I last had the Krombacher as well. So we're going to find out once we've got them poured into glasses. And we're back. And now they've been poured. And we have got, we had about 2-finger head in these, really, when they were poured. It's gone down a little bit since. So they've both got the same kind of heads with a mixture of different sized bubbles, really, quite a frothy head. Let's have a look at the colours. So, looking at the colour of the beers, this one's looking a little bit darker than this one, I think. Yeah. Look, this one's got a little bit more amber in the colour than this one has. Yeah, I mean, for people who, once again, for people who are playing along at home, I'm just going to tell you which one is which, and I'll do that now. Okay, you can look back now, that was which one was which. And basically, let's start smelling these, because in the look, I can't really tell which one's which. This one looks a little bit clearer than this one. But it might just be because that's a bit darker in colour. I've got a bit of an idea which one might be which, but it takes the fun out of it somewhat if you don't at least smell them first before you know. So let's try this one first. So it's malty. Yeah, it's malty. It's brown bread. There's a bit of there's some lemon in there, but there's also something a bit sharper in there. Something kind of a bit more bitter in there in the smell, I think. Yeah, but it smells oaty. It smells syrupy. It smells sort of brown bready. There's a little bit of lemon in there though. And that's what I'm getting from this one. This one, let's try this one then. So this one, yeah, this one is lighter. It looks a little bit clearer. So that one, let's try that again. That one's not as malty, but there's still a bit of malt in there. Smells a little bit crisper. That one's giving away more aroma than this one is. There's a bit of malt still in the smell on this one. And something else as well. Something, I don't know. There's a bit more something fruity in here. So it's a bit fruity in the smell. Almost like tangerine, orangey kind of smell. Possibly a bit of pear. It's got an interesting aroma, that one, actually. The more you the more you smell it, the more aromas you're getting out of it, really. That's got quite a fruity aroma. I'm getting, yeah, getting some grassy notes coming through. It's got a belting smell, this one. This one is smelling very much like the last couple of lagers I brought back from Menorca. It's got that kind of maltiness in the smell. So this may be a question of taste, really. This one about which type of lager I prefer. We'll start with this one first, the less malty smelling one. My water, of course. Let's get the water. Right, there we go. Okay, going in for this one. Cheers. So that's dry, it's smooth, it's got a little bit of bitterness, it's got a nice creamy finish. It's very clean, very crisp, quite bitter, very Pilsner-esque. Let's try this one. Okay, let's try this one. So that's got a bit of the maltiness in the flavour there. It is also quite sharp on arrival. Quite dry. It's a nice bit of biscuitiness just lingering, but it's quite muted. There's not a lot of it. Yeah, I'm having to take quite a bit there to get some of the flavours out of it, other than the initial maltiness. Not bad though. Let's try this one again. To be honest, I don't think either of them are actually throwing loads of flavour at you, to be honest. I mean, neither of these I'd say has got loads of flavour. It's not an easy one. Again, we've got the other thing where we've got a clean and crisp kind of flavour there, and a slightly, I wouldn't say muddier, but a slightly maltier flavour there. It's very hard to choose between the two. I mean, I'll tell you which I think is which. I'm pretty well. I reckon that's the Krombacher, and that one's the Victoria Malaga. Just because it's maltier, it's more like the kind of lagers I've had from Spain, and that's got German Pilsner written all over it, as far as I'm concerned. I'd say that's very similar to the other Spanish beers. It's nice. It is a nice. It is good. I'd say it's close because it's better. I'd say it's better than your standard Spanish ones you'll get. Well, Spanish in inverted commas that you get. It's better than your Birra Moretti's, and it's better than your certainly better than the UK brewed San Miguel, but it's closer to the Spanish San Miguel. I'd say that. I think that's how they brew lager in Spain. I've never been. Well, I've been to Menorca, but I've never really had proper brewed lager in Spain. apart from things in cans and stuff that I brought home with me. I imagine that's how they brew it. They brew it with a bit more maltiness, because all the Spanish ones I've had pretty much, apart from that Molen beer, all had a bit of maltiness in there. Had, you know, it was very different than the kind of lager you get over here. And that's a nice example of it, I think. There's a bit of bitterness coming in, which I'm not a massive fan of. It's not a particularly nice bitterness. It is a close one, this, though. It is a close one. I'd say they're equally tasty. They've got very different flavour profiles. This one's really got a German Pilsner flavour profile. That's got much more of a Spanish lager flavour profile. I really hope I've got them the right way around. But I just think that they're both equally flavourful. They're both just as nice in that respect. I just think this one here is a little bit... It's more refreshing, it's more drinkable, and I think that would swing it for it. And the interesting aroma also. And I've drunk a lot more of this, to be fair. So, you know. Yeah. I'd say this has probably got more flavour, but I'm enjoying this one more. So, for that reason, this one's going through. Let's get the bottles back and find out which one was which. Bottles back! And, really... I mean, okay, so that was the Victoria Malaga. The Remington glass was the Krombacher, which is what I said. But to be honest, there's no prizes really for me being able to do that, to be fair. They're very different beers. And I say, once you've had a few, good Spanish lagers, you know what they taste like, really. And again, if you've had a few good German Pilsners, you know what they taste like as well. So I think it's a testament to these two beers that I was able to tell the difference. Because had this just been something like Beck's or something, which passes itself off as a German Pilsner, but it's rubbish, and this was something like Birra Moretti or something like that, or Madri even, that passes it off as something other than original Carling, then basically I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because they're just not very good examples of that particular style of beer. This is very similar, as I say, to the other Spanish lagers I had in Menorca. So if that's how they do it, if that's not how they do it, then obviously I've just had wrong ones. But if that's how the Spanish brew their lagers, I do like it. It's nice, it's good, malty, but I do have a persuasion towards German lagers. Anyone who's watched this channel knows I love German lagers, and a German lager will usually win out unless it's not a great German lager. Krombacher Pils is a brilliant German pil, and it's a Pilsner as well. And that's the thing you see. So it's not as soft as a Helles. It's got a nice bit of bitterness to it. It's lovely crisp. It's lovely refreshing. It's a little bit lighter in colour, and this is a really good example of a proper Pils. And the fact, and again, the fact you can get this in Tesco. Absolutely amazing. It is a really good beer, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. This one, though, I did like this. It's very good. It's very different, but it is very good. It was as good as any of the ones I brought back from Spain, and it was as good as the San Miguel I brought back from Spain. So there you go. That's where we're coming from with that. But as good as it is, unfortunately, it's been knocked out. Krombacher is going through to the next round, and that'll be up against the Korev, so that'll be interesting to see that. But again, I'd probably know which one's which out of them two anyway, just because the Korev's so unique in flavour. Don't know which one will win though. We'll have to see how I feel on the day. So there we go. Krombacher is through to the next round. I've not got much of these left. Shows that they're really good beers. Really enjoyed them. Quite a tough matchup that time. But until next time, have a good one.